Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. I miss being in the kitchen. Ever since we've been in the Airbnb, I've just been in a rut. So, I just haven't wanted to film. I haven't wanted to share anything. It's just been crazy because it's super small. However, Vanessa, also known as Lemonade Mom, I will leave her channel down below. She's an amazing friend of mine, an amazing YouTuber. If you are not watching her, go follow her, go watch her, go follow her on Instagram and all of that. She was having some troubles making some truffles or cake pops, because if you stick a stick in a truffle, it turns into a cake pop. So I'm going to share with y'all how to do it. So, let's go. Alright, so for this, I'm also going to share with you guys how to take a boxed cake mix and make it taste like a bakery. So, super simple, super easy. However, you can do this recipe as well with just making the boxed cake mix as normal. Instead of water, you're going to use milk. Whatever the box says, just replace it with milk. You're going to add a splash of vanilla. I'm going to bring y'all down here. There we go. You're going to add a splash of vanilla. My cake mix says 3 eggs. I'm going to add 4. Then my cake mix says 1/3 of a cup of oil. I'm going to use 1/3 of a cup of melted butter. That's how you switch it. You switch the water for milk, 1 extra egg, oil for butter, and a splash of vanilla. That's it. So I'm going to get my butter melted and add it in here as well. And then I'm just going to bake this according to what it says on the box. And I have a shell. Did you know that shells attract shells? Look at that. Got it out. And last one. So if you ever get a shell, use your shell to get the shell out. I know, it's weird. Alright. Gotta melt my butter, put it in here. Of course, I'm short, and our microwave is super high here at the Airbnb, so I have to ask hubby to help me. It's just butter.
That was paper.
No.
Why are you melting paper? Sometimes I wonder about you.
Really? Now, I'm using a lemon cake mix because I want to make lemon poppy seed truffles. You can use whatever cake mix you want. The thing is still the same.
Love you.
I love you too. My husband's driving me crazy.
It's my job.
No, it's not. Okay. And then to make my lemon poppy seeds, so obviously if you're doing any other flavor, don't add the poppy seeds. But I'm adding poppy seeds. Alright, so now that my butter is cold and everything else is mixed, I'm going to add the butter and mix that in as well. Put it in a pan, throw it in the oven for however long as the box says. So for mine it says 350. No, sorry. Yeah. 350 for 28 minutes-ish. We'll see. This oven is crazy. And it's super hot, so...
Come here. Right, Danielle.
Alright. Hubby's mixing that up for me real quick. Then we're going to put it in the pan and bake it according to package directions. I just saw a bright red cardinal for the very first time. That's what my mom yelled at me for. Okay, so while my truffles are, or cake cream cheese mixture, is inside the freezer, when I lived in Vegas, I wanted to talk to y'all. When I lived in Vegas, I only used a tablespoon of cream cheese. Here, I've had to use 4 ounces of cream cheese. So, it all depends on where you live to get that texture. And the texture you want is the texture of Play-Doh. When you squeeze it together, it holds its shape. So I squeeze my cake balls, rather than rolling them. That is another thing that I do as well, is I squeeze them. Because if you don't squeeze them and you roll them, then more than likely your dough's going to break and you're going to think you're going to need more frosting or cream cheese than what you need. So you just want that texture, and your best bet is to do the cake while it's hot. Break up the cake while it's hot. Now, if I would have done it in a longer pan, I wouldn't have gotten as brown on the top that I did. And that's one other reason why I had to and my oven, of course. That's another reason why I had to add more cream cheese, is because that crust on top makes you need more cream cheese. Now, I could tell you right now, Vanessa's cake, when she made it in her meal prep video, she would have only had to use 1 ounce or 2. Because her crust on the top wasn't as super dark as mine was. And so her cake wouldn't have been as dry. But you're going to want to mix it as soon as it gets out of that oven, whether you use it with a fork or you put it in your stand mixer or you put it, use the hand mixer like I did. I wasn't a fan of the hand mixer, which is why I got my hands in it and got my hands dirty, which is totally fine. I'm used to my hands getting burnt in the kitchen, or like I have heat sensitivity. I don't have heat sensitivity with my hands. So I was able to mess with it faster. But if you need to use a fork, use a spoon. A wooden spoon works, a spatula works, whatever you need to get that cake broken up and together. Then you're going to want to start adding your cream cheese. So, I wanted to put that in here because honestly, my husband is in the background laughing at me. You have a dirty mind. Quit. Anyways, so I will be back when the cake balls have hardened and show you guys the next step. Cake just came out of the oven. It's super hot. I'm going to use a fork. You can use whatever. I normally put it in my stand mixer. And I'm just going to mix the crap out of this cake. Top is a little bit more crustier than I like it to be, but it's fine. Actually, Chris, hand me that bowl.
I don't wash it. It's nasty. I don't know what was in it.
Popcorn. Okay. It's normally easier to put this in something. So I'm going to put it into a bowl. Because dealing with hot cake. A hot cake in the hot pan is never fun. Okay. Okay, so now I'm just going to take a fork and mix this. And what's going to happen, lemon facial, what's going to happen is the steam is going to get trapped into the cake, and that is what's going to make it super doughy. So, once I can handle it with my hands, I'll handle it with my hands, but right now, the fork works.
We have a hand mixer.
Oh, we do, huh? Can you grab it? I'm going to use the hand mixer. And I'll show you guys. So, I'm just going to break this up. Literally murder the cake. And if needed, do not add frosting. If you have cream cheese, use cream cheese. Using an ounce at a time. If you need it. Most of the time you won't though. So I'm going to demolish this cake.
Sorry, Pink, I forgot you were out there.
Ooh, it's hot. Okay. I'm going to use the mixer. It's hot. Plug it over there. Okay, I can already tell you I'm going to need at least an ounce of cream cheese because of how...
Look at make sure you know that it's also doing. It's also pulling the cake.
Because of how dark my top got. You're fine. Okay. As you can tell, it's starting to come together. Now it's super hot. With the mixer. The hardest thing with this mixer and not the stand mixer is that it's just flying everywhere. So, 1 more tablespoon of cream cheese, or 1 more ounce of cream cheese, not tablespoon. 1 more ounce of cream cheese. And we're just gonna mix it together. If you don't want the brown part in your cake, you could take it off, but to me it doesn't matter. So as you can tell, it's already starting to come together, and that's what you want, is like a Play-Doh consistency. Making up cream cheese and mixing it. It's hot, I'm not gonna lie. This is super hot. Ooh. But again, if I had my stand mixer, I would use that. You can use the hand mixer too. But that's what you want, is for it to come together. I'm still not happy with my consistency. So I'm going to add another 2 ounces, which is 4 ounces total. You can do this with frosting too. I just like how when cream cheese cools, it's harder. And so that's why I like to use cream cheese. You can do it with... Okay, hopefully I cut that out. I don't know what my mom was tripping on. But now with a total of 4 ounces of cream cheese, This is what you want. You want it to come together and also fall apart a little bit. Okay. Now I'm just going to play with this till I like the texture of the cake itself, which is just making it all one texture. Okay. Alright, it's cooled down a lot. I'm going to use a muffin tin to put the cake balls in, or truffles. I'm just gonna, not gonna be 100% smooth unless you have like a cake mold, but just like that. And I'm just sticking them in here to where that way they don't tip in the freezer. You can put them in the fridge. I just do the freezer so that way they go faster for me. Alright, I'm just gonna roll these. Again, this is the texture you want. Now if I push it, it'll crumble. But also stay together, and that's what you want. So, I'm going to continue to make these, and then I'll show you how and what I use to dip, which is almond bark. You can use chocolate too, but you get more bang for your buck with this. They have a chocolate version too. There's no almond in it. It's just this. But this hardens more and better than regular chocolate melts do. Alright, so I'm just going to form these balls, throw them in the freezer for about an hour, and then we'll dip them. Now that my truffles are frozen, we are going to melt. I like using almond bark. Now, you get more bang for your buck, but if you wanted to do like colored ones, I would do the, what is it called? Like the candy melts ones that you can get by the cake section. That's what I would use. But since I'm just using white, I'm using almond bark. Alright. Now I'm going to take pieces of this and I'm popping them in my microwave at 30-second intervals and mixing in between. Okay, so I'm going to bite one of these to show you guys that it stays together. That's it. We're going to dip them in chocolate. Now, if you were doing cake pops, now would be your time to dip your stick in the chocolate, then dip it and put it into your truffle, whatever. To where then it'd be a cake ball. Then, after that, you pop them back in the freezer for about 5 minutes, just so that chocolate will harden completely. Then you can twirl it into the chocolate to be a cake pop. Alright, my chocolate's not fully melted, but this bowl is hot. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to need a spoon, and I'm going to need a fork. I'm going to put my truffle on my fork, or not.
Apparently they won't stand for it.
Apparently not. Okay, now I'll grab a fork. I'm going to use the back of my cutting board because I don't have all my stuff. So, And just like that, you're going to pop this back in the freezer for them to harden. So, I'm going to do a few of them so I can take the thumbnail and get this video up for you guys, because you guys are seeing this day of. And that's it. I also think it's pretty funny that I'm using lemon to show Vanessa, Lemonade Mom, how to make truffles or cake pops. Like I said, if you're not following her, go follow her. And I'll pop these in the freezer, let them harden, and that's it. They're all done. Alright, you guys, this is what they look like. So good. Go check out Vanessa's channel. Don't forget, be smart, be strong, be safe. Go ahead and like and comment on this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.